the really cool pose as he was walking away after blowing up that tank. So badass. Oh, so amazing. Hello again and welcome to the KenOhwee Channel, and for today's episode we'll be talking about another toy, another S.H Figuarts, and it will be the Mk.III S.H Figuarts by Marvel. Look at that, wow! It's from the first Iron Man movie, and yeah, I'm really excited to dig into this. And so looking at the box, yeah, at the side you have the menacing Iron Man Mk.III, and then from the back all the cool poses, all the scary poses. So you know, the really cool pose as he was walking away after blowing up that tank. So badass. Oh, so amazing. So yeah, a lot of action parts, and it's movable. We'll see about that S.H Figuarts Iron Man Mk.III. So without further ado, let's have a look at Iron Man Mk.III. So taking a closer look at this figure, my god, look at how awesome this figure looks. So yeah, this is a very nice sculpted figure. Look at the arc reactor, it's all detailed in there. It's not just a blank white ball. Paint application turned out very well. A lot of shiny metallic red, and I really like how this figure turned out. It looks really nice. And then at the backs of the flap here as well, these things are removable as part of the accessory, which I'll show in the accessory portion. And there's a few cuts here to allow more crunching of the abdomen. And yeah, so this is where the little missile that destroyed the tank, that cool pose as he walks away, you know, shooting it. Oh, that's really nice. And if they included that would have been really awesome, but hey, that's asking for too much. But anyways, moving down to the legs, you have all the gold chrome all there as well. They even modeled the joints now, so you can see that little sculpted along the knee joints as well. That's really nice. And then yeah, it's the earlier design, so there's not as much detail as the later design suits, but still at the same time there's still a lot of details. So yeah, standing side by side, if I put a picture right there, yeah, that's like having, you know, the movie Iron Man right next to you. So that's really awesome. So that looks really good. So I really like how this figure looks. For the articulation of this figure, he can move the head fairly high, so he can move up that way, he can move down that far, and then his neck has further movement, so he can look down further and he can look up a lot further. So you know, doing the flat poses, yeah, he can look out really far. But the only problem is there's like you can see that little gap right there. That's the only issue. And his head can pivot left to right, and it looks left and right as well, of course. And the hand moves 360. It can push out about that far. It has a butterfly joint and it goes up and down. The shoulder pads can move up and down to allow more hand movement. He has double jointed elbows, and then his wrist can turn to 360, and he can move up and down, but it's not on a hinge. It's like all the other S.H Figuarts Iron Man is on the ball joint, so it can move up and down a little bit. This little wrist guard here is also on a pad, can move up and down to allow more wrist movement, so it does not hinder it. As for the waist articulation for Iron Man, it can turn left and right, it can pivot for the left and right as well. And it can crunch down about that far, which is really great, and it can arch backwards about that far. When you crunch the figure a lot further, you can see this gap behind, but when you're posing it, you know, from the front, when you're crunching it, you can't really see it, so you won't be seeing at the back anyway. So that allows for a lot of crunching movement for this figure, so that's really nice. And all of this is all modeled in really there as well, so look at all that abs and shine. So unlike Mk.III figure, this is not, you can't detach it or anything, just the standard S.H Figuarts, but you can still crunch a fair bit amount. So for the legs, you can actually push up and down, and you can kick about that far, but if you push the leg down a lot further, and it can kick up much higher. So it does have a thigh swivel, and also it can do the Bruce Lee kick, so that's really nice. So even though it has an iron butt, it can kick back that far. It has double jointed knees, the legs move up and down, and it has toe articulation. Really tough, so that's really hard. And it does have ankle pivot, and there's also a flap here that you can move up and down. And as for Iron Man Mk.III accessories, just like all the other S.H Figuarts Iron Man, it comes with all the blaster effects. So you got one for the leg, and then you get one for the hand as well. So for the hand accessory, it comes with 3 extra part of hand. So one of it is the blasting hand effect, where you have the peg right there, and all you gotta do is just connect the effect to the hand itself, just peg it in, and then you have Iron Man blasting off his enemies. But Bandai must have heard my complaints, my constant complaints, because they finally provided another hand. I pointed it out in my previous video that, you know, in the previous Iron Man S.H Figuarts, they did not provide just a stationary hand, just like that. They always have the peg sticking out, so there's nothing that you could show your Iron Man, you know, just in a freeze pose as if he's just trying to tell his enemies freeze, don't move. It's always that peg right there, but finally they provided one where it's just painted just like the Mayfac's Iron Man, so that's really awesome. And it also comes with just, you know, Superman hands flying away. So in each of those hands you have that little peg right there. All you gotta do is disconnect the wrist guard that's connected to the fist on top of that on the Iron Man, and then you just have to connect to this one just to complete the whole hand effect. And also it also comes with a flying flap. So what you gotta do is just like a little peg like thing, so it's just over right here. All you gotta do is just slowly pull it out like that, and then you just plug this flap in, and there you have Iron Man flying. So yeah, that's really nice. I'm glad they just included this little effect right here, so you can see Iron Man just flying away. So in summary, yeah, what can I say? Great articulation, great sculpt, great paint application as usual with S.H Figuarts. This figure is amazing. I really like this figure. I really like how it looks, and it's a bit of a nostalgic feeling, you know, going back to one of the first few Iron Man armors in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that's really awesome. I'm sure any Iron Man Marvel fans out there would be really ecstatic to have this figure in their collection. I know I am. This is such an awesome figure, and I had a lot of fun posing this guy in many awesome cool action poses, blasting away enemies at his every path. So that's really cool. So I'll just conclude that. Thank you very much for watching my videos. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned. Mr. Stark, Mr. Stark, let me show you my collection. What are you talking about? I'm you. Whatever collection you have, I have the same. My god, is that the entire collection of blast effects? How long did it take for you to collect these? Tony, where are you? Tony? All I ever wanted was an interchangeable head. There, Tony. I'm sure your interchangeable head will come soon. Thank you. Your words really... You're just teasing me now, are you? Well... Click here to enjoy more videos.